What's happening, everybody? Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another WNBA video. We have a 3-game slate to dive into today for Saturday, June 14th. So we're going to break down and analyze each of those games. We're going to talk about which way that I'm leaning as far as the points and the spread. And then when it's all said and done, make sure you check down there into the pinned comment. You'll find a link down there that's going to send you over to the Guy Boston Sports website. It's where all of my final plays are going to live for free. But before we dive into the action for today, let's go ahead and take a look back at yesterday's plays and how that ended up going down. We'll jump over here to the Guy Boston Sports website to go ahead and take a look at that recap. Yesterday we go 3-2. We took the Dream laying 8.5, and we put a half unit on that one. And we cash. Took Ariel Atkins under 3.5 assists. She has 4 by the half. Put a quarter unit on that one. We do not cash. Alicia Gray over 20.5 points plus assists. Now she really struggled shooting the ball in the first half. She finishes with 15 points, 5 assists, landing right at 20 on the hook, and we do not cash. Another quarter unit on that one, though, at least. Then we took the Sky, put an alternate team total in under 75.5. Logged in the FanDuel, saw a 30% profit boost, so that put that at minus 141. Put a half unit on that one, and we do cash. Then we took the Wings and the Aces, the first quarter total over 41.5, quarter unit on that one, and we do cash. So that's the kind of the solace that I can take in this one is that those 2 plays that we do lose, only quarter unit plays, and we do cash out on both the plays that we put half units on instead of quarter units on. So we do finish up 0.64 units on the day. We are now 57 and 51 overall on the season. Guys, let's stack up on that positive momentum, man. We have a winning night here. Let's go ahead and have another winning day today. Let's jump into the mix, guys. If you guys could hit that like button down there for me and hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Let's jump into the mix, man. Our first game is going to be the Los Angeles Sparks taking on the Minnesota Lynx. Lynx are 10.5 point favorites in this one. The total was at 162.5. I now see it at 163.5. It's going to be our first game on the day, a 1 p.m. tip-off time. LA is going to come into this one fresh off of an 8-point win as a 9-point dog on the road in Vegas. They are now 4-7 straight up, 5-6 to the number. Minnesota comes in at 9-1 straight up, but only 4-6 against the spread. They were upset on the road in Seattle, losing by 10 as 3.5 point favorites their last time out. The Lynx did beat the Sparks earlier this year by 14 in LA. And LA is going to be without Julie Alleman, who is away for EuroLeague play, along with Jessica Shepard of the Lynx. She's also out for EuroLeague play as well. The Sparks have been a bottom 5 team defensively this season, man. They're sitting at 10th for defensive rating, allowing the 5th most threes made per game and the 4th highest points per game allowed to the opposition. That's just not good with the Lynx team coming into town, right? Sitting at 2nd for offensive rating, 2nd for effective field goal, and true shooting percentage. Minnesota sitting at 2nd for points per game, 3rd for overall shooting percentage from the field. They're leading the W in 3-point shooting percentage. They are 2nd in the W as far as mid-range field goals made and shooting percentage, which is where they get a lot of their points. The Sparks are allowing the 4th most points per game defensively. They are a middle of the pack, 7th for shooting percentage allowed overall from the field, and then defending beyond the arc. Teams are putting up the 2nd most 3-point attempts and converting the 5th most against them. So not doing too hot on the defensive end. You got to consider how this is a potential letdown spot for the Sparks as well, and a bounce back spot for the Lynx at home, right? So this is obviously a larger line, but I'd still lean Minnesota here. Despite failing to cover in their first 3 games on the year that they were made double-digit faves, they have since covered in the last 2 such games. The Lynx play at a slower tempo too, right? Actually sitting at dead last for pace. The Sparks are only 9th in that regard. Lynx have hit the under in 6 of their 10 games played this season, including landing under this specific number in 6 straight games prior to their last outing. This Minnesota offense is just too high powered. This Sparks defense is just too weak. So I'll lean over here and I'll lean Minnesota on the side. And next up, we're going to be looking at the New York Liberty taking on the Indiana Fever. Liberty 4.5 point favorites in this one. Total sitting at 171.5. This one opened up Liberty minus 6.5 and has now moved down. There's a reason for that. We'll get into it, right? 3 p.m. tip-off time for this one. It's going to be a great game, man. We get a rematch of what was, if not the best game we've seen so far in this young season. These two met in late May in a game that the Fever controlled a good bit of before succumbing to a late New York rally, man, as the Liberty pulled out a 2-point 90-88 victory. The Fever are going to come into this one 4-5 straight up, 5-4 against the spread. And they have been without Caitlin Clark since that last match with New York. Indiana went just 2-3, both straight up and to the number without Clark, and they are looking to bounce back here after a 19-point loss on the road to Atlanta, and they now have Clark back and available here for this one. New York is the only undefeated team left in the W at 9-0, and they've been an impressive 6-3 to the number as well. Now, look, while Clark is back for Indiana, DeWanna Bonner is out, personal reasons. And for New York, Phoebich is off to compete in EuroLeague play, while Jonquel Jones is listed as questionable here. But I personally just don't anticipate seeing her in this one after she missed practice Thursday and is nursing an ankle injury. If you guys are following along this season, you'll notice in the WNBA that these players tend to take a little more time off and working their way back into the games than what you might be typically used to seeing in the NBA. A sprained ankle might have them out for a few weeks. You know what I mean? A concussion has them out for a week or more. It seems the recovery time is a little bit longer here in the WNBA as compared to what you may be used to with the NBA, like I said. So, just kind of the signs and the way things are looking, it looks like Jonquel Jones would not be available in this one. I would be surprised to see her out there. So I'm going to look at this like she is not playing. And that would be huge for Indiana, right? Jones was huge over the Fever when they met earlier this season. She put up a team high 26 points and 12 rebounds. The Gainbridge Fieldhouse is going to be packed with New York coming back to town and Clark making her return. The energy is going to be electric. The energy in that city is already electric with the Pacers in the finals and a close game, a close series that one is. You know what I mean? So the vibes are high in Indiana right now. Clark coming back onto the court. I anticipate a packed house and a raucous house, right? And it's not only a bounce back spot for the Fever, but a revenge game as well, man. So I like Indiana here, and I caught it super early and got one of those 6.5s when they were available. All in all, man, I would lead in the Fever catching the points, overlaying them with a Liberty team that's due for a letdown at some point, right? And what better spot than here? I think Indiana has a strong chance to just win this one outright. Being at home, like I said, in a bounce back spot with Clark returning. So I like Indiana here. Like I said, I'm already on that one. Indiana plus 6.5. You can still get 4.5 available. I wouldn't mind looking at them on the money line either, guys. If you want to get a little more risky and get plus money play in, this might be the time. So looking at the total, both of these teams have hit under this specific number at a 78% rate this season. 5 straight for the Fever, 6 straight for the Liberty. But in their earlier match this year, these two landed at 178. I think there's going to be plenty of offense here, man, despite the defense that New York brings to the table. Without Jones down low, Boston should find even more success than she did the first time around, and she put 27 up on New York that time, right? And with Clark back, it's only going to help Boston. It's only going to help everybody, right? Even if she struggles to get her shot going and is rusty to start off this game. Although if you were selling that to me, I'm not sure that I'd be buying, you know what I mean? But regardless, she'll get this offense back on track with her ball movement, her court vision. So, end of the day, New York's going to get points up. You know, even with Phoebich out, even with Jones potentially out, New York's going to get points up, man. They're tops in the W, 4 points per game. They're the only team in the league averaging 90 points per game. This is what they do. You know what I mean? So give me an over here for this one. And I'm already on the Fever plus 6.5. Then our final game on the slate, the late game, 8:30 p.m. tip-off. Seattle Storm taking on the Golden State Valkyries. Storm are 9.5-point favorites on the road here. Total 158.5. Oh no, total was sitting at 158.5. It is now down to 155.5. That thing is moving. It's just an interesting one, once you start to dive into it. So let's do just that, man. Let's dive into this one. The Storm are 6-4, both straight up and against the spread. And they bring a 3-game win streak into this one and lead the Western standings for cup play after beating the Lynx by 10 their last time out. So they now hold a tiebreaker over Minnesota, sitting at 3-1 in cup play. There is travel involved here for them, however, with this being the first game of a 3-game road trip. The Valkyries are bringing in a win streak of their own, man, after winning their last two, a 95-68 blowout over the Aces that they followed up with beating the Sparks on the road by 8. So good stuff from Golden State, man. Good stuff from Golden State. They are 4-5 straight up. They have been an impressive 6-3 to the number. They'll also have a 2-day rest advantage here over Seattle. Golden State's going to be without Julie Von Lowe and Janelle Salon as they are away for EuroLeague action. Tiffany Hayes is still out with that nose injury as well, while Seattle is going to come in with a clean bill of health for this one. In their last 3 games specifically, the Valkyries sit at 4th for net rating, plus 10.8, with the Storm right behind them at 5th with a plus 10.5 rating. Seattle has the second rated offense during this time span, but Golden State is sitting at 4th for defensive rating. Valkyries are just 8th for offensive rating, but the Storm are middle of the pack, 6th defensively. So, man, I like this spot for Golden State situationally. We do have to keep play in mind and that the Lynx are tied with Seattle as far as wins and losses. But win out for Seattle, and that won't matter, right? They hold that tiebreaker, like we mentioned earlier, and winning out puts them in the final. So we do have to keep that in mind, man. They do want to get this game, right? It's not like they're going to come in here and overlook the Valkyries, but I can't ignore that big win over Minnesota, the best team in the West, a team that you could make a case for as the best in the league. We are looking at a prime letdown spot here for the Storm, in my opinion, and a couple in the fact that they are traveling and at a rest disadvantage. I'll take Golden State with the points here, please. But I'm looking at this one early, guys, because well, the proof is in the data, man. The Storm are laying 5.5 for this first half spread, a number that they have only covered in 30% of their games this season at the half. The Valkyries, on the other hand, catching 5.5 points, they have hit that at a 89% hit rate, only failing to cover this number once this season. They've been able to keep the first half's pretty tight. They've gone into halftime with the lead in a handful of these games as well. So I like Golden State, full game. I'm already on them with that first half play, though. I took that one plus 5.5 last night before I went to bed, man. Yeah, so I'm gonna lead in Golden State full game. I like that first half play the most in this one, though, personally. For the total, this number feels pretty low considering what we've seen from both of these teams. That they've hit up and over this number a combined 9 of their last 10 games. But you know what? I put that note in here last night when the total was sitting at 158.5. The market totally disagrees with me as money is just flying in on that under as we're now down to 155.5. Seattle is fifth for pace, man. Golden State second. I see a lot of points in this one, man. Seattle doesn't have the defense that we saw them bring to the table last season. Now, Golden State does have a pretty good defense, right? But Seattle has they've been pretty lights out offensively. It's been a kind of a reverse from what we have gotten used to seeing from the Storm, where they don't really do nothing on the offensive end and they beat you defensively and those slow grinded out muck it up games. Well, it's been a little bit of reverse here lately from the Storm. They're putting points up, right? Golden State is playing pretty damn good defense, right? But also putting some points up in their last few games. So I'm going to lean over with this one. I'm not sure that I get there with the total here, but I would lean over, especially with that number drop, and I don't want to sweat out an under at 155 personally. That is going to wrap us up here today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you found the content helpful and useful. And if you did, please do not forget to smash the like button down below and hit subscribe if you have not already. And that's going to do it. Hope you guys all cash out this afternoon and evening. Hope you guys have a great Saturday and a great start to your weekend. And I'll see you guys back tomorrow.